Scripture says, be anxious for nothing. How do you do that? How do you know whether or not you're anxious? How do you identify it? What are the symptoms of anxiety? What's worry look like anyway? The problem is that, well, I don't know as we always understand that we are anxious about something. Maybe we have a lot of other words for it. Maybe we're just uptight, or we're not feeling right, or whatever. I mean, maybe it's something that you can't describe. A friend came to me the other day, and they were struggling. They didn't think they were anxious, but they were annoyed. They were annoyed because of the things that were going on in their lives that, well, they had no control over. At least they didn't feel like they had control over. People telling them that, well, you need to come and have a test done, and you need to come and have this meeting and this appointment. And the problem was for this person was that they didn't like that idea. And they didn't like being told what they needed to do. That's the problem sometimes. And I asked the person, are you anxious? And they said they didn't think so. But they weren't settled. They were unsettled as they felt. The point is that we struggle with things in life. And even though we may understand what Scripture says, doing it, or doing what the Scripture says, isn't always just cut and dried. Partly because we can't dissect what's going on inside of us. We're responding and reacting to things that are going on, but we don't know what it is, and we don't know how to change it. We don't know how to curb it or how to corral it. We don't know how to control it. And I think sometimes the issue is about control. We feel manipulated. We feel powerless. And when you feel powerless, you're grabbing at anything you can to find power again. Now, the reality is that all of us go through life with our ups and downs. All of us goes through life with life plans, or the things of life happening while we're making other plans, as it were. We're not always in control. In fact, I don't think we're ever in control, but we feel like we are. We feel like we have decisions and we have the power to make them. But the reality is that life is just moving along like a river, and sometimes the river is very quiet and very serene, and it's wonderful. And other times it's a fast, roaring rapids and waterfalls and all kinds of things, and we're holding onto the lifeboat like we might drown. Well, that's the way life is sometimes. And yes, in those panic moments of those waterfalls and rapids, we will be grabbing the boat more securely. Well, that's what Jesus says to do. Grab him more securely. Think about that today, would you? Hey, until next time, God bless.